General Gaius!
Wait! Wait. Just a moment. Lower your weapons. I said lower your weapons!
You have much to answer for, General.
And what of you, my friend? A year ago I heard stories of your death, at the hands of a child, no less. Now here you stand, not only alive, but leading the very creatures we've been charged to destroy.
You've been charged to destroy, not me.
What happened to you, Cassius?
Cassius?
Do you not remember your own name? What have those damned Moonbloods done to you?
What did you call me?
Cassius! That's who you are!
Don't listen to him! You're Jin now! Remember that!
You're remembering now, aren't you? Together nothing stood in our way. We shaped this world together, and together we can finish what we started.
You ordered the deaths of countless people. Countless Moonbloods. Moonblood sympathizers. Anyone that stood in your way.
Yes, and you carried them out. Lower your blade, old friend. First we destroy these Moonbloods once and for all. Then I can help rid you of these fantasies that have spoiled your mind.
Just listen to me.
Cassius was my name.
That doesn't matter.
It's all that matters. All those people I killed, Fidgets. How could I possibly redeem myself in a mere few days?
You cannot, Dust. This was never about redeeming Cassius. But then, you are not Cassius.
But I share his form, his very soul.
That doesn't matter!
Why do you keep saying that?
Because you're not just Cassius! Jin didn't kill those people. Jin saved Aurora and Mudpot Village. Jin stopped Fuse, saved Lady Tethys, and now he's the only thing standing against General Gaius. Cassius would destroy the Moonbloods. But Jin, he would protect them.
No, Fidget. You're wrong. Jin didn't do any of those things.
Then you finally come to your senses.
Jin is dead, as is Cassius. Their souls now live within me, constantly reliving that fateful day. Forever in battle, forever at odds. But as long as I live, I still have a choice.
Then what are you?
I am justice incarnate, brought to this world by forces beyond your comprehension. A cleansing storm to sweep across the land and purge it of your foul presence. I am dust, and your campaign ends here now. Throw down your weapons and surrender, or you will face an enemy unlike any this world has ever seen.
Cassius, please, don't do this. You know you cannot win.
Let's end this.
Welcome to the final fight. Now, this fight can be a bit of a bitch. The reason for that is, you know how there's some fights you have where, like, oh, this is the end, and oh, nope, this isn't my final form. Somewhat like that. He's not that difficult per se. He does have a few good attacks, and he can parry a fair bit. But in total, he is generally a simple move reader at the beginning, and then begins to show his hands as the game progresses. So it's not an entire idea of, oh, this is now my ow. That was evil of you. Is general the way they designed this fight was he is just constantly going to show off something new each time. Oh sweet Jesus, that hurts. Sorry, I just need to build up my damage and my defense. Ha! I parried your attack, you fool. Yep, that's the kind of shit you gotta dodge. Come on. You can do better than this General Gaius. Then again, I can do better. Hey, get back here.
You cannot win, Cassius. You never could beat me.
Stop calling me Cassius!
There was a time when you stood by my side. We were allies once.
Not anymore, General. I'm not your ally, and I'm not your friend. Now raise your blade or drop it.
You never could scare me either, Cassius. Very well. To the death! Don't you remember anything, Cassius? Why would you draw your blade against your fellow soldiers? Why would you draw your blade against me?
You're destroying this world, Gaius. You and your soldiers cannot be allowed to continue your campaign.
This world belongs to the strong, Cassius. It belongs to us. Don't you remember your duty? Don't you remember your friends?
I remember everything. And it changes nothing! This is where it ends, Gaius!
the world we once loved. Cherish it.
Not without you. Come on, Dust. Get up. We did everything right, Dust. Everything we were supposed to do.
And sometimes that's not enough, Fidget. When the life threat calls. Fidget. Thank you.
Goodbye, Dust.
Through the actions of our Sen Mithrarin Dust, the Moonblood race is finally free. We will never forget his sacrifice, or the deeds that saved our very world. We shall always remember what happened here. Dust's sacrifice will allow the Moonblood race to rise again, to rebuild our glorious civilization, and live peacefully among the races of this world. Though it may appear that Dust has fallen here today, the force of good is not so easily extinguished. Sen Mithrarin was born of dust, a current from the winds of change, a harbinger of storms yet to come.
Dust.
Hope you enjoyed. Can I just say I have a thing for Metroidvania? And if you don't know that term, it's Castlevania and Metroid basically put together. And to be honest, that's mostly what I've been playing recently, stuff like that. I mean, okay, for anyone that didn't understand what I meant at the beginning, like, don't watch this if you're against furries and stuff like that. I never really understood that kind of tone people took. Oh, it looks like this, therefore it must be horrible, therefore I'm not going to look at it. I never understood that tone. If you don't like it, then take it with a spoonful of salt. If you don't like what you start seeing, then stop watching. Don't keep going expecting it to suddenly change. Like, in all honesty, when I first played this, I was only expecting a game that took a lot of risks because of the choices they've made. But no, the biggest risk was honestly the art style, I believe. Because really, if you bring this kind of art style into games and so forth now, a lot of the time people, oh well, what do you expect? It's a sad thing. I'm not usually into this kind of art style either. I see it, it's like, okay. And then there's stuff like this, like, even if the characters look completely different, I don't think that would have changed a single thing. The game has a really strong story. I won't say it's the best, because every story has its flaws. Even if people say the story is the best, there are flaws. The gameplay, however, is what really, really sells it for a lot of people. it feels right. It feels like it's well put together. Everything feels like it's well put together. You can easily tell everything apart from each other. It's one of those cases of the design is done right. I was like, oh, what's that? Well, it looks like it's explosive. It's explosive, obviously. Stuff like bombs and stuff like. In some cases, when they did stuff, they made like characters and looks that didn't really look like what you would expect. Like, oh, it looks like a balloon. Oh wait, that's a. And then, like at the very beginning, like you first see a bomb, it's like, oh, that's a bomb that blows up if you go near it. Like, okay, I didn't honestly expect that at first. And at the same time, this whole two souls molding into each other to create another person? That's confusing. But that's dust. And I had to be honest here. Huh. Okay, it didn't show up. Basically, you know those cases where I was dying over and over and over in the game? Yeah, that was becoming a bit too much on hardcore. The thing is with hardcore, the damage is ramped up massively. Like, go to hard, and then go on hardcore. You will notice the massive damage ramp. Effectively, honestly, makes armor useless in my opinion. You may as well just stack all the health, and then just rely on equipment for armor. But, I'm just gonna say this now. If you looking for something that's like Castlevania and Metroid put together, and you don't care what it looks like, then buy this for God's sake if you haven't already. This has been out for quite a while on Xbox, and when it came to PC, I was skeptical. I'm not anymore. This was honestly really fun, even though there were some moments that annoyed me. I really hate the soaring meadow. I really do. And mostly for the sorcerers and their tendency to spawn the exploding zombies. But as you can see, this is basically how it went. I don't know why the trials don't have. I'm guessing you need to do them more than once. But as you can see, the fact is I got 99% bothers me. It's like, oh, I could have probably finished it all. But I'll see you next time, okay? I know you. And in the end, I know at least someone will enjoy this.